boots and parachutes, all the guns of the foe are still. Get ready! Airborne from skies of blue, ready to go. We're coming through. Make the jumps and take your boats today. Let's go put on your boots, your jumping boots, your parachute.
And today on Have a Knife Day, we have Jet, the Wonder Cat, our neighborhood ambassador, joining us for this video. And let's talk about knives. So this is a collaboration knife between Bastinelli and a gentleman by the name of Vol West. At least that's what I'm going to call him because that's what I see. And I got this at the California Custom Knife Show at the end of October. And oh, wow. This knife is fantastic because from the moment I picked it up, if you ever have a chance of picking one of these up, you're going to say, wow, because this is a very light knife. So this is a 50-50, 50% straight edge, 50% serrations, a fuller, and check out this handle. Now, if you can see, it has lashing points. So you could, when you know what's better than a knife? A spear. That's right, you could turn this into a spear. Check out the texturing. Check out the guard. Now, the sheath. Now, this is the Kydex sheath that it comes with. Of course, this is my aftermarket belt loop that I get. See you later, Jet. That I have to wear knives on my belt loop because I prefer, at least where I'm living at right now, to wear knives on a belt loop. But in comparison to this is a Tech-Lock-like device, as you can tell. So that would normally be what this is partnered with, but I have it on this really nice belt loop. And there is another option. Comes in this really nice cloth pouch. It's kind of like a canvas. It's a little rough. Now, this comes in black and brown, and it comes from Chattanooga LifeWorks. Now, you see this right here? This is a multiple geometry carry option. So you can run a belt through here to wear it scout. You want a belt through here to wear it vertically. The belt, I find it to be around about an 1.5 inches. So a rigger's belt, like I usually like wearing, well, that's a little bit too wide. I have just recently purchased a leather belt, and maybe I'll talk about that here pretty sometime soon because it's really nice and it's coming from back east. So when I do get it, maybe I'll share that with you. Pull the dot. Now we'll take this and we'll put it in here. It's a nice snug fit. Oh, there we go. And then it will click on. There you go. And it is as easy, now mind you, when you want to wear it left or right. All you got to do is take these off, flip it around the other side, and then switch out because the belt loop itself will fit right there. It's a very easy thing to do. A Phillips screwdriver and you'll be flipping it left and right to your heart's desire. Now, with that in mind, we're going to go over who made this. We're going to be talking about Bastion Coves from Bastinelli, and Vol West. Then we're going to go over the specifications. All right, so remember, Veterans Day is coming up. I'm a vet. If you want to thank me for my service, please do subscribe to the channel. I would greatly appreciate that. We're working up to be like 840 subscribers out of 1,000, and my goal is to reach 1,000. So with that in mind, let's switch on over to Bastion Coves. Here on Have a Knife Day, we like to get to know the people behind the blades. For Bastinelli knives, that'd be Bastion Coves. In his own words, for the little story, I fell in love with knives when I was 7 years old, and that is when it all started. I grew up coming across different knives and eventually decided to make my own. I started my training with a famous traditional Corsican knife maker called Christian Moretti, and was taught another French style of handmade knives with Francois Binome. I created a full handmade knife firstly in my head before putting my ideas on a piece of paper. Then the custom knife came to life in my workshop. I make it a point in creating the custom knife all by myself, from cutting the steel to shaping the knife, making the handle, grinding, sharpening, and engraving. I use mostly D2 tool steel, but occasionally use other variants. I live my passion every day thanks to people who share the same passion for my knives. So recently I had the opportunity to talk to Vol West, who did the collaboration with Bastien from Bastinelli Knives. And I found out that he co-wrote a bestseller in French on the subject of urban survival. He was in the military in France, but his recent work is focused on preparedness and self-sufficiency. For the past 10 years, he has been the biggest survivalist blog in the French language. The Binome came out of a real need for a military fighter. A few special forces friends asked him about knives, and he realized that their soldiers were going to war with inadequate blades. He wanted a real fighter with a real double guard, and he also wanted something really light since FS guys already carry heavy equipment. It had to perform well while parachuting, diving, or in other traditional settings. So he contacted Bastien since they had already done a collaboration on a knife called the Montana, and he drew the Binome, a perfect-sized ultralight fighter with a double guard and great materials. Some prototypes were tested by French FS guys all over the world. It was a good collaboration because Bastien had to bend back to old school concepts and he had to bend forward to new school executions. And weight was a huge factor. On the Binome, he told Bastien he wanted light finger grooves on the handle. To be able to orient the knife in the dark, those details come from a long history of knife culture. It turned into a knife that was not only light, but flat. He wanted it flat to slide between a mag on a chest rig. And I really feel that they really knocked it out of the park for this, because when I first came upon this knife at the California Custom Knife Show at the Bastinelli booth, the first time I picked it up, I said, wow. And with that being said, let's go on to the specifications. The model is called the Binome. The overall length is 10.50 inches. The blade length is 5.25 inches. The blade material is Bowler M390. The finish, PVD coating. Blade style, drop point. Edge type, partially serrated. We're going to call that a 50-50, straight to serration. Handle material is canvas micarta. Handle color, green. Weighing in at 6.70 ounces. The sheath is Kydex with Tech-Lock belt clip, but you can also get a multiple geometry leather carry option from Chattanooga Leatherworks. And it is built by Fox Knives in Italy. So what we have here is the one knife that I am buying at the California Custom Knife Show. Now you do have a choice between these fine leather sheaths made by Chattanooga Leatherworks. They do fantastic work. And what you could do is you put your belt in the long wise and you can wear it scout, or put it in this way and you can wear it vertically with the pull the dot. So here's the blade right here that I'm going to personally buy. Yeah, you want to see something fun, try to do this with one hand. Could you pull that off? So this is what I'm taking home today. I cannot describe to you and give justice how very, very light this blade is. Now, what can you tell me about this knife? This is the second time today.
Okay, that is a knife I designed with Vol West. Okay, he lives in Montana, and he asked me to come back in the past with a traditional design of fighting blade, double guard, kind of Bowie design of the blade, something really light and comfortable. So the idea was to bring back some old school design and make some new interpretation of that. Like you can see, it's really, really light because we make the body completely in full micarta green canvas.
Now is that's green micarta canvas? It's a full tank.
It's a full tank.
It is a full tank.
And you can see, like, we didn't use any kind of hole for the dragon because every screw had a hole. Like this, you're able to put that like a close to the stick and make like something like a weapon with your hands. You're able to use.
So you could use that to make a spear.
Yeah.
So what is better than a knife?
Yeah.
But a spear.
Yeah. So for that we have the hole on every screw. So that is the goal. And after, for the design of that, we decided to make 50% of the blade like with serration, and the other one in a plain edge.
So a classic 50-50.
50-50. We're gonna make one like full plain edge like very soon, but that was the goal, to make something light and really good design, like come back on the real fighter design. You know?
Well, out of this whole show, you're the only guy who got me to crank out my credit card. So that's just between you and me. My wife doesn't need to know. But thank you for being here.
Thank you so much
for making these beautiful knives, and thank you for taking my money. So welcome back to the Have a Knife Day Table. I hope you enjoy learning about Bastion Coves and Vol West, seeing their influences on what has given us a beautiful, functional, purpose-built, light, incredible piece of sharp art. I really enjoyed talking to Vol West the other day on Instagram. We were chatting back and forth as I was doing research. Please do look into the book that he wrote. I don't know if it comes in English or not, seeing that it is in French. But this is definitely a guy who, through his military service and his background working with the French Special Forces, it really comes out in this beautiful blade. All right, remember to please like, share, comment, and subscribe. And as always, have a knife day.
We will send parachutes on the guns of the forces. Get ready. Airborne from skies of blue. Heading the goal. We're coming. Make your jumps and take your bows today. Let's go put on your boots. Your jumping boots, your parachute. Your parachutes, get all those gliders ready to attack today. Look up or we'll be gone. Pouring our jet into the dawn. And station time to fight them all. The 82nd way. Hey!